Greetings from Colorado. Para Yoga is the confluence of three rivers, rivers of ancient knowledge and tradition. Ayurveda, the yoga tradition, which is associated to Sankhya philosophy, and Tantra. And they each contribute something very significant to our practices, and to our worldview, as well as to how we live our life, how we're more effective and how we find more meaning and joy and fulfillment as well as freedom in our life. Ayurveda is key to help us stay in balance, and ultimately that balance allows us to integrate and utilize these other two systems to their fullest. The Yoga Sutra and Tantra then are really about the way we look at these two ideas and how they compare. One is the cultivation and the development and the embodiment of knowledge. That's yoga. And we could say that Tantra really is the embodiment of power. Let's look at the first. The Yoga Sutra is the text that we lean into for this. And it offers us this path to both freedom and fulfillment. And the medium, the central piece of that path is awareness, clarity, purpose, clarity of mind, and ultimately, most importantly, the understanding of who we are. And that sense of understanding is not just in a spiritual context. It refers certainly to the idea of understanding and contacting that eternal, joyful aspect to who we are. That's the soul, in fact. But it also relates to the idea of understanding who we are not. Unraveling the patterns that we've identified with and that we've begun to live our life out in a way of habituation, or that we become conditioned to accept as who we are, when in fact some of those things are incorrect. Some of those suppositions are false. The last, of course, is Tantra, and Tantra is this development of power, and in many ways this cultivation of power, and even the terminology of like Shakti and enlivenment, and the whole idea of weaving into the fullness of life. It's certainly attractive, but having just taught two courses, just in these past 2 weeks, both the sutras and the Four Desires, I can tell you, and I'm reminded personally, of the significance of knowledge. Knowledge is what allows us to live freely. And it was kind of auspicious. I don't know how much thought I put into it, frankly, but to have these two courses back to back was incredibly meaningful, and quite a few people actually were here for both courses. The Four Desires followed the Yoga Sutras, and in the sutras we really established what is the heart of these practices, all evolving from this unsurpassed calm and clarity. It's really what the Yoga Sutras are ultimately helping us to unfold, is the quality of clarity that then gives rise to absolute freedom. From there, I taught for the very first time, and I can say it was probably the most fulfilling teaching experience I've had in years. I taught for the very first time the Four Desires, specifically for trainers. Alongside the group of trainers that came to learn the keys to facilitating the Four Desires was a group of very willing and adventurous first-timers, and it was pretty much, the group was divided half and half. I have a pile of anecdotes, people's experiences from these two trainings, particularly from the Four Desires. The notes and the comments are really humbling, frankly. To hear the discoveries that unfolded here really speaks, and in a sense is the culmination of what the Four Desires work is always, what I aspired it to be, which is in the most profound and complete way of taking a deep look at who we are, and setting the stage for us to be as free as possible in everything that we do. The component of bringing in the trainers was really significant, more significant than I even had planned, although I had intended to make it, to help those people who were here find new territory in the process as well as in themselves. And the interesting thing about that has been to watch how much impact it had on those who were here as trainers and their understanding of the process of the Four Desires, as well as now what I've heard from a lot of them is how much it's impacted their teaching, both privately and in groups as well. I feel extremely honored and pleased and proud even to have reached a point where I can see the work of the Four Desires taking root in so many amazing souls. It's my hope that you'll be part of future trainings where we do it. In fact, the next one planned is for the spring of 2014. It's my hope that you'll be part of it and both enjoy really what is these three elegant and transformative streams of wisdom, and that to the extent that we can embody them and draw from their great insights into human nature and our relationship to the environment and our relationships to ourselves, to really the invisible world as much as the visible world, the magic that pervades both, and the idea of really extracting the hidden joy that dwells within our own hearts and which each of us is fully capable of expressing in our life. I hope you'll join us, and if not at that program, many of the offerings that are coming. It'll be a full year, lots of travel. Par Yoga is taking flight, and I'm pleased to be part of it, as well as just to watch it happening and see it filling the hearts of so many extraordinary human beings. So that I say thank you, and I look forward to seeing you soon.